Hello, everybody. I'm very glad to be here, and I know you had a hard time the last 2 days, and I try to make it a little bit easier for you and start with our topic. Yeah, it's not only about digital education and how we transfer this. I would like to give you some insights of our personal work and how we did and continued and have the shift in the education part over the last few years. Thank you. Thank you very much. Actually, I was here in 2019 and I made a lot of friends. I have over there you, and thank you so much for being here and with me today. And we worked as well together, so this event here was very fruitful. Still, the collaborations are going on and the partnerships as well. Some people I met here, they're going to Vegas. And yeah, we went through this time and through these challenges, everybody on its own way. So just something about me, 3 quick things. Actually, really, what I quote over there, I don't like limits, and that is as well one of the most important statements in my way, how we run our foundation and the people I work with. It's everything about capacity building and around skills, and let kids fly and give them the environment that they can spread their wings. And therefore, I cannot accept a limit, and it's our task to bring them a little bit further, step by step, in their personal rhythm on the platform, whatever they need. Yeah, I'm actually an international lawyer. I'm not working very much in that, and I earn my money as seaside consultant for companies in transforming situations and as well in crisis situations. So since I'm the first global chairwoman for circular economy with the G100 since 1 year, and under my wing, they are from all over every other countries. We have 100 countries. They are women leaders for the circular economy, and gender equity is one of our missions. And I use this network for the young people. That is actually the reason why I'm in there, not only for young women. I'm believing in diversity, but that is the reason I'm not the founder, but I'm in that wing. I'm the founder of THEA International. We started 5 years ago from scratch. I'm not coming from the education. I'm coming actually as a lawyer from the capital market. But I changed education and I started directly globally and agile. So we have teams from all over the world. When we need the teams, we have no really structure at one place. In these 5 years, yeah, we have global and local initiatives, and actually driven by kids for kids, and everything developed with the kids, so that we know actually what our target group needs at the special place where they are. We have Women for Future, that is a career building network. It's a local initiative in India. Youth for Future, that is a partnership with Skills. Here we matched quite well. And we have Action for Happy Kids, but we talk about all that later. Action for Clean Communities in Ghana. And Youth for Circular Future is the new global platform I would like to present you today. So what we talk about, and before we going into the topic of technology, it's the final question from my point of view, in what world we want to live. And what do we need that children and young people can develop in the world where we educators think that is achievable and that we would like to create with our power, what we have. So I think it's an individual answer, and we come back to that later. But if you have this and keep this in mind during all this, what we are going through now, it will maybe open a new horizon for you as well. Yuval Noah Harari was actually one of the most important philosophers for me when I started THEA International, because it should have been a counterpart to technology development. I was afraid 5 years ago that kids stay in their bubble and they're not achieving anymore the miracles of life, and they're not going out of their comfort zones they create. Amy Webb, I'm a long time connected with. She's a futurist, she's coming from the US. Both are believing that technology, and especially artificial intelligence, will drive us in a future that is not very convenient for young kids and that will give us more difficulties and maybe as well only 20% impact on development we need in building a human future. So I think that is something what we have to keep in mind when we really want to develop further, and with artificial intelligence, assessments and guiding career pathways on the way like that in e-learning ways. When I started, that was actually the first cup I had on my way to India. And yeah, it's really true. When somebody goes to space, he comes back half a foot taller. And that is actually when somebody is going to leave their comfort zone. They grow. You're not growing at home. You're not growing where people know you. You're only growing in exceptional situations where you can prove your skills and where you really can find yourself and know who you are. Therefore, you have to step out. It hasn't got to be in another country, but it has to be step out of the way where you know and where people know you. And that is what we did in our first programs. And we wanted to bridge young people to the miracles of life, what they don't see. So I was heading for a lot of projects in India, project partners, and we wanted to come back to actually do a little transfer of tradition and innovation. And what we believe is that you have to know tradition and coming back to your roots first before you understand the environment as well yourself, your community, that you can go the next step and bridge innovation about. So we had different clusters. We went with 15 students. We had intercultural learning, so we went in different places. They get a 360 view of what is happening, and they came normally with a very narrow idea what life is. So what you took, for example, they had the iPhone away, they were not even able to do a picture with a normal camera. So searching for new places, especially coming back this over here in Solan, we went to unlearning societies. We did a big recycling event on Goa, and we worked with sustainable fashion in Jaipur. The kids being bridged there after having a training of intercultural awareness. And then they went to the different projects and they could contribute immediately because they had these 2 weeks and the assessments before. So they really been partnering. Nobody is waiting for kids today, not even for internships or scholarships. You really have to create the partnerships and to provide the necessary capacities to the kids that they really can contribute. So it will become a win-to-win for all the sides. That's what we did. Then we translated the experiences of these fields into school programs. And we've been actually the first 4 years ago in Germany who had a combination of social emotional learning, intercultural knowledge, global education, and social and SDG topics. We started with water, with climate change topics. It was very special. Now everybody's talking about that, but 4 years ago, especially in Germany, nobody was talking about that. It was a hard work to go into schools and to really to have the access. The students really wanted it and they quoted as well, but the directors been very restricted to let us in, and they wanted to have a proof that we really can do what we do because we're not been coming from the classical education field, and Mia was coming as well with facilities from different countries, and I offered them to the schools. For this program, we've been now, there are global citizen programs. We are now UNESCO best practice in Germany and UNESCO partners for schools. So that was finally, it is not really important for me, but it was important for the schools that they have a kind of proof and confidence of the partnership they are getting in with us. For me, the most important was that the kids liked what we do. And that's what they did. And they said, we need exactly that. And that was the reason for coming back. And the first start and the first 2 years, I financed everything by myself, that the kids had these opportunities, even in Germany. So then I was invited and I went again back to India. And we had an amazing event in Assam with 10 institutes, 5 events, over 500 students on on SDG topics with social workers, departments. We danced, we discussed the whole night, really lively, wonderful. I don't know, I think there are a few people maybe from India here. There's a special culture. It's really when the kids start dancing, they do music in the night and they work hard in the day. It's really such a special thing to live with and to learn in these ways. And they are so passionate to help. And that was actually one of the first shifts we did. They don't have to help. You don't help. You have to be on eye level and to empower, and first of all, empower yourself. So we had these really lively, amazing 3 days. And then Corona hit. I got stuck in Mumbai for 4 months. I could not leave the apartment. I was staying there with 4 people I never seen before. And I was the only one, and the first time in my life, that I did not be able to leave a place. And I had a small room somebody shared with me. And I never been close to a person like that. We are still friends, still tonight. But it was not always sure that we could stay like that. It was an immense learning, but as well in that moment, I realized that my programs based on traveling and on bridging young people to real experiences, that this idea is completely gone and maybe gone forever. And that was really shaking. At the same time, the students I met on this event, they called me and they said, "Hey, ma'am, what can we do? Do you have something we can do together?" And I said, "No, I don't have that. I'm breaking down in the moment, so I have no idea what we can do." And they said, "It's not possible that you don't have any idea, so let's do something." And we started online projects. The first ones with Zoom, I not even had an idea what it is. So we really went through that. And we had Zoom sessions. We organized immediately, and we had over 1,000 kids taking part, youth from different universities, and we organized guest sessions with my network. We had 3 sessions a week, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and reflections afterwards, and they loved it. And we chosen the topics on different clusters, and it was for them more important to talk about their situation, and we've been on stabilization, on resilience, but as well on giving directly future aspects, because they had the feeling they have not the job readiness. And that was really, they've been always, we are not confident. And so they learned in the different sections to connect the dots. Like here, we are talking about the same thing 3 days. Nearly. But everybody has insights from different perspectives. So in the end of the day, we connect the dots and we see what we can take away. And that is a skill. And this skill is one of the future skills, what I think is very important. To listen, to see how I can connect and how I connect the dots and have the learnings around that. And this is what they learned. And that assured them for enter every field, whatever it is and will be. Topic today is as well skills. We will see that a little bit later. So we worked in the beginning in the new platforms, what we developed, in smaller groups. So after this whiteboard with a big group, we had a cohort of 30 people. We took them out and we started only, I think it was nearly 1 month. Everybody learned about everybody. So this, what you see here, is a mind map of the whole group. And there are the skills of everybody in that, but everybody had a mind map. So with the skills of everybody. And they matched it and discussed. So that was the basic structure. So when we discuss here, we have to be agile and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we have to be agile, but how we can construct an organization structure that is agile? It's based on the knowledge what the capacities and the time capacities, the personal capacities are. And that is that you have to know each other. And then you can say, okay, I will run a project in this field and I know, oh, he's doing that, so I can address to him or to her. And that is what it makes agile later on, and the kids are not relying to roles. They're changing roles constantly because every project needs different capacities. So it's not important anymore if I have a function or something. It's just important that I know who's able to do what and who do I need when. And that is actually, for us, it was the start, not an assessment. It was the start in working in mind maps like this. And they could do it differently. So that is one thing. Other kids, they painted it. So it was very openly how they tried to design. So you see again the three main fields we developed. Whiteboard, it had the title, it was chosen really with a lot of awareness, because the youth who entered that, it's actually for students, for university students, they should go in that without any expectation and learn what it means to learn from everything and everywhere and everybody, and not have a fixed idea in the head, I learn this because I want to go in this career pathway. And that was the condition to take part in that project. So you see, it's digitally, we've been working on Zoom, and then we added role models in the same age, because that was something what we learned as well. With all the people we had in the guest sessions and in the mentoring later, it's very important for us, for the kids, that they have somebody that is who is not so far away from their personal level of that state of mind and education and experience. So they grab easier. They have a feeling they can achieve that. And that is very important. If somebody's coming in my age, for example, you have really to connect with the kids and not coming from this higher perspective and tell them about all your career pathway. That's impressive, but it won't connect them. They will forget it the next day. But somebody that's in the age a little bit closer, doing something and can reflect the experiences close to the kids, that is perfect. So with her we are working together still on whiteboard. I think that this one. She's in France and she's a role model for sustainable fashion. She worked in Paris on the big stages, and she explained what social entrepreneurship in the sustainable field means if you are stepping out of the industry and running your own business with all the obstacles you face. And one of our young whiteboarders now, she started in India, she's now in Zimbabwe, and the outcome and impact is that she founded already her first foundation. So all the others from Whiteboard, they are now ready with their studies, and they are all in jobs. And I don't know if you know, but we have 3.5 billion people, educated people, and only a very small percentage of people who are getting a job later. So we are very proud, not of us, but that the kids and the youth understood what they wanted to learn. Then we started Action for Happy Kids. Actually, I was very curious, and it was an idea as well, brought out of Whiteboard. We wanted to become younger. And that is for the age group 14 to 18. And now it's becoming a company or an organization as well, running under our umbrella of kids. For kids. They choose their topic, they choose the way how they promote that topic. They mostly work on Instagram and with their website, but mostly on Instagram. And they choose the way of awareness. So they want to create awareness to special topics in the SDG field. And they create the content, they really run this organizational structure as well. So all the obstacles coming up and how to build up an organization, they learn already. They learn how to connect to each other, they learn all the legal stuff, they learn, okay, when I don't have a website and I don't have the money, what do I do if I have to have content, and who's doing the content? So they're already very strong in team working, setting up meetings, networking, finding money if they need, and understanding what they can do and where they need money for and what not. And that is, we had this last time. I said, I'm so sad, I have no funds for this project. And they wanted to start a campaign for peace. And they worked out it so nicely. And I was so sad that I couldn't help. And they said, hey, ma'am, it's no problem. We don't need the money. We just go for it. And we work on Instagram and it will be perfect. And we organize it on ourselves. And I was so proud, because normally in the business, everybody is calling for budgets. And yeah, they learned already a lesson, and they do extremely well. The last Youth for Future World, that is actually a program made for schools. Schools and schools who are interested, like your school, in really shifting knowledge to creative work. So they are storytelling, they are animation movie filmmaking. They're actually all the skills they got lost on the pathway to the digital shift. I have to see, okay, I'm still good on time.
We are a community that listens to ideas of children from all around the world and provide valuable tools and resources for them to bring these ideas to life. This process stems from our belief that all children should be able to dream of a happy world for themselves and be able to create it as well. How do we do this? We are different from many other social initiatives because we follow the principle of the kids, for the kids, and by the kids. Our first initiative was the video challenge, where we collected videos from different children in which they described their happy world. This allowed us to understand what are the needs of children and provide them with a global community for mutual growth and collaboration.
I made a song on this. Please enjoy. A perfect world in my head is a world with no dread. Everybody would have a pet. The sun would never set. People would be...
I think we leave that. It is actually the campaign what the kids did. They had over 60 videos from kids from other countries, and everybody was stating what is their happy place, what belongs in that one, what doesn't belong in that. And we had amazing answers, and the kids wanted to take these answers for their future projects. So being really authentically and really working on these topics other kids need. And yeah, and there was the next topic coming up, and they take action on that. So that is their structure they found. We have one next action project, that is Action for Clean Communities. So we stepped out back from the pure digital field, again back into the real field. And this is for us the shift we would like to do if world develops in a way we can do that, having both feet on both grounds. And yeah, I'm just back from Ghana. We have our special guest today here from Ghana. And yeah, we worked with 4 communities. We had over 500 kids, so I think we've been much more in the end. And they've been in the field, they did a proper analysis of their circumstances, and they said, we want to change something and we don't want to wait anymore that responsibilities are taken by somebody. And I said, okay, I help you, because I really know and I feel you want to do a change. Even when I'm back, when I'm not here anymore, you have to be able to run this. And they said, yes, ma'am, we will do that. And they do. So we had 3 actions, 1 debate, and they organized it by themselves, and they had wonderful PowerPoints where they really pointed out the problem and been discussing about the problems, and that was as well a skill we developed with them, to have a mission and to pronounce this mission and to transmit this mission in a way that other people can adapt. And as well, this is one of the future skills we are convinced that are very important to have. And on every platform, so they're entering every scene, and they can do that as well digitally if they want. Then we had a cleanup situation, we changed, and the cleanup was not only a cleanup, it was showing that the kids go into the field and they really want to change something, and they go there and they come back with dirty hands. So they wanted to be an example. And that starts by themselves. Even that is a learning. Not transmitting responsibility to somebody else and say, you have to do that. No, they did it by themselves. And the last action was then a protest action. And they developed their statements. They went out and they went in the capital of the upper region in Ghana. And they really had the courage to stand up for their opinion and what they want to change and discuss to governmental people. And yeah, we will continue that project if we find the money for the second run, and I'm sure we will. So now we're coming to the final, and that is Youth for Circular Future. That is the new project, and I'm rushing a little bit. The main objectives, there are peer groups, and it is to inspire young people for the most important future fields. And that is for me circular economy. And we develop with the peer groups that project. It's a completely digital project, but with local hubs in different cities and local regions. So I hope that works and gives you a little idea of the prototype of this platform to inspire. You have no music now. It's actually a journey young people can take on the platform. So wherever they want to enter, they can enter. They have, again, people who are inspiring them, people who are example, or who gives examples and who are role models in special fields. If they are interested in these special fields, they go one step beyond. And then they find the mentors. We have 3 categories of mentors. We have Minded, Mavericks, and Heaven mentors. Then you see the mentors are presented on the platform, but in a special way that youth can adapt to them. We have them in different age groups. They are different field experts. And that is as well what the categories are made of. Then they can go again beyond. And then they can learn. That is the content we developed based on different skills and as well on different topics around the circular economy, because it's a very difficult and very connected topic. It has many sectors to connect. And this is actually one of the most important things, that kids and youth get inspired by that. Otherwise, they step out. We had this experience already. It becomes too complex. They don't want to learn about that. They go deeper, and then they can join as well global classrooms. They have to sign in. They have to do an assessment. And then they can connect with each other in different countries on their peer-to-peer learnings and peer-to-peer projects. I think, is that coming up? Not really. Okay. You would see normally here a world map where they can adapt and can click and see who is working on which project where, and then they get again connected to the people behind as well, to the mentoring. That is our new last thing, and we come back to the final question: in what world we want to live. And now I would like to ask you, okay, join us, work with us, share the insights with us. But before you do that, we come back to our question, and I would like to introduce you to a very special and inspiring personality, Pubi Mentombo. He is the Afrikaner spoken word poet. He's an international artist and as well a teacher. And he's an inspiration for a lot of young people. And he's a proud Ghanaian. And now I hope he's here. And he joins the stage for you. And I thank you very much. And I wish you all the best. And hope you come back to me.
Education. 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 Yes, I speak of education. The falling standards of humanity have imputed so much hazards onto our society. We now have chaos for authority exhibited with graver detrimental gravity. Iniquity has merged up with calamity, and the byproduct is outright insanity. Violence has amalgamated with insolence, and the resultant factor is derogatory overindulgence. Men are now at ease with facultic indolence, and we only render apologia and condolence. But no, do not allow sympathy to overrule justice, neither tamper honesty's mercy with falsity. For judgment will always beget her content, fair or foul, hook or crook. Brethren, look. Go ahead and read some book. Yes, Do not ask me what book. Just go ahead and then read any book. It can even be in the deep brook, but trap the book with a hook, and by all means, let your brains cook. Read, and your soul will be freed. Read, and you will know your creed. Read, and for the cause of others you will plead. Read, and eliminate your ignorance like a weed. Read, and unto your soul you will feed. Yet again, I say read, for the falling standards of humanity have imputed so much hazards onto our society. And on a gathering like this, what more shall we say? On a gathering like this, what more shall we say? Zubair, please, if you are ready for me, let's do this together. Boom, 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 ba-doom, 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 boom, 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 ba-doom, ba-doom, boom, 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 ba-doom, 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 boom, boom, boom. Ta-ra-ta-ta-ta, ti-ri-ti-to-to, ti-ri-ti-to-to, ta-ra-ta-ta-ta, nungana-tuomo, minata-nota, minata-nota, nungana-tuomo, ta-ra-ta-ta-ta, ta-ta, ti-ri-ti-to-to, to-to. But what rhythm is that? That is the $1 trillion question we all here want answered. Who wronged who, and what went wrong? What is it that breaches the blood of brotherhood all around in the neighborhood, that when two neighbors agree on a mutual consent, one of them deliberately turns out to be unconcerned? Now, if you have not read, but have you not also heard the story that the hawk and the hen were very good friends until one of them deviated from the trend? See, they said the hawk even left the skies far above and came down upon the face of the inhabited earth to live with the mother hen. What sacrifice was more than this? In times of work, you only know how to talk. And in place of business, you pretend sickness. You who cannot work skillfully with your hands knows how to play beautifully with those self-same hands. Madam Hen, woe betides the seekers of pleasure with their conscience. Today, look at the end result. They say the hawk went back to the skies where he belonged and left Mother Hen upon the face of the inhabited earth where she too belonged. Yet, anytime Mr. Hawk came to visit the children of Madam Hen, the neighbors began to shout and then hoot at him, ha, ha, ha. But was it his fault? Is he not only giving word as he was told by the Mother Hen? Now, listen to the morale. Life is a deal. Do not treat this deal like a sumptuous meal. Keep to your part of the deal with due diligence and negate the pathways of negligence. You may say what you may about life, but truly, all men are not necessarily equal. Some are hawks, others are hens, yet others are even chicks. But all things are bright and beautiful. Only identify your place, and there serve well. You may have my words broken, but Pobi Mintonbo, I have well spoken, and may my words never be broken. Let he who has an ear hear the words of wisdom, and by so doing, liberate their soul from boredom. What more shall we say in a time like this? Ta-ra-ta-ta-ta, ti-ri-ti-to-to, ti-ri-ti-to-to, ta-ra-ta-ta-ta, nungana-tuomo, minata-nota, minata-nota, nungana-tuomo, ta-ra-ta-ta-ta, ta, ti-ri-ti-to-to, to, ta-ra-ta-ta-ta, ti-ri-ti-to-to, ti-ri-ti-to-to, ta-ra-ta-ta-ta, nungana-tuomo, minata-nota, minata-nota, tuomo, ta-ra-ta-ta-ta, ta, ti-ri-ti-to-to, to. Thank you, Amir. So before I finally take over my seat, I'm going to do a collaborative poem with us. Working with children is always my passion, day and the night. And I have written a poem. When I go to interact with them, I say these lines and they respond with me. So I want us to just do this together. You're going to be responding to the last words of this particular poem. For example, if I say on a typical day, you will say day. When kids go out to play, you will say play. What at all do they say? You will respond say. Are we ready? On a typical day, when kids go out to play, somewhere along the bay, making hay, what do they say on their way as they pray? When they find and then bind to go and grind and hurt their hind, what comes into their mind? When they are together somewhere at the sink, wearing colors of pink, wanting to leave the brink, holding their hands in a link, what at all do they think? My name is Nat. I am the Nat who bought a hat, all alone for my cat. It was taken by the rat and placed on the mat, just like that. Then came the bat, looking very fat, but holding a mat. And then they sat, pat each other's back, and began a chat. I did not slap. I began to clap to see a bat together with a rat seated on a mat and holding a chat. Nat laughs that. My name is Nat. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's been an honor for us all to be here.
Give it up for Poby and Anja. Fantastic. From Ghana. You know, you get a little rhyming going. I won't stop. I like it. I like it. What an incredible, inspirational